Good evening, I'm Coach Jspecks of the Dallas Staryu. This is Assistant Coach Dio, and we are bringing you our Week 8 team builder against the Hamden Hydreigons, coached by Jspecks, the commissioner for this league. Now, this is going to be our first time battling in league format. There were a couple of times where we would have had the opportunity to, but because of events going on, we didn't. So, this is our first time battling each other, and it's really hyped, it really is. Now, in full disclosure here, I've not actually had my Week 7 battle against Isolate, so I don't know how that's going to turn out. If I lost that one, then I really need to get a win here so I don't go to a 4-4 record. But if I won that, well, I still want to get a win here to put myself in a better position for playoffs, but it won't be as important. But no matter what, I do want to give it my all out there, and I hope to deliver a strong win for our Dallas Staryu. So, here is what we have from the Hamden Hydreigons. Okay, so, he's got Mega Gardevoir, and he's got Kieran Black, which is a broken-ass offensive core. He's got the Raikou to round it off. He's got My Digga the Diggersby. He's got Arcanine. He's got Cobalion, Mandibuzz, Blastoise, Meloetta, Gourgeist, and Ninjask. Now, this is a team that is broken on so many levels. Mega Gardevoir and Kieran Black are two amazing wall breakers. Just devastating Pokemon. I absolutely have to be prepared for both of them. Raikou is a great electric type that can Volt Switch and do a lot of damage. It can run Assault Vest. It's really hard to take down. It's fairly bulky. He's got Diggersby, which is not to be slept on. With that huge power, it can do a lot of damage. And Meloetta is also great offensively, and I don't know if it's going to be the special regular Meloetta or if it's going to transform and become a fast physical threat of a fighting Meloetta. He's got Gourgeist, which can frisk my items to see if I'm running any tricky sets. The Ninjask can always baton pass speed. That's not exclusive to my team. And then he's got really good bulk with Arcanine, Mandibuzz, Cobalion, and Blastoise. All very, very solid bulky mons. And Arcanine can run both ways, as can Cobalion. So there's a lot to prepare for, and I really hope that I can eke out the win here. So let's start with my defense. And that starts with my specially defensive Mew here. Fetal Attack with max HP, max special defense, forward speed so I don't get speed crept, synchronized with leftovers. This thing is primarily my special wall. It's going to set up Stealth Rocks because the Hamden Hydreigons has 4 Pokemon potentially that will take a lot of damage to rocks. And Kieran Black being one of them is a great one to get some Stealth Rocks damage off. Arcanine and Mandibuzz, both members of his wall core, both weak to Stealth Rocks. And then you get the Ninjas. So Stealth Rocks is going to be great here, and I really hope that it pays off. But other than that, it's going to knock off items. Choice Scarf on something like Kieran Black would be nice to knock off, or a Specs from Raikou, or even like an Assault Vest on Meloetta, or something like that would be nice to knock off. And it'll do pretty good damage to like things like Gourgeist as well. And I can knock off leftovers and all that. And then U-turn to get out of there. It'll most likely be a slower pivot, so I can take a hit, U-turn out, and get some offensive momentum building. So next up we have our other defensive Pokemon, and that is Physically Defensive Togekiss. This thing is running Serene Grace leftovers, Bold Nature, with almost max HP, because I want to keep that odd number, max defense, and then 12 in speed so I don't get speed crept. And we are running Air Slash, Ancient Power, Substitute, and Baton Pass. So what I want to try to do is I want to try to bring this in on like a Mandibuzz or something like that if I expect a foul play or knockoff or something like that. Set up a substitute and pass that into an offensive Pokemon. That's the idea here. Or if he's probably going to switch out on Mandibuzz. Or if he switches out into something like Kieran Black, I can Ancient Power and do a lot of damage. Or even something like Ninjask, I can Ancient Power, do a lot of damage. There with the Serene Grace will be a 20% chance of the boost, and that'll just be icing on the cake if I get that. But really, it's there to try to Baton Pass a substitute, depending on what he switches in on after I set it up, or to flinch and Ancient Power Chase. So we'll see how that goes. So next up we have Justice the Megalade, coming for the very first time in a Dallas Staryu jersey. We recently picked this up from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Very excited to use him. And this week we are running a bulky but speedy Megalade. It's going to be max HP, Jolly with 176 speed. That will be enough to outspeed Mega Gardevoir. And then 80 in attack, just the remainder in attack there. And we're running Drain Punch, Poison Jab, Confuse Ray, and Toxic. The idea here is to predict a switch and Confuse Ray so that my opponents will have a 50% chance of hitting himself in confusion and proceed to toxic things like Mandibuzz and Arcanine that will want to switch in. And even Gourgeist and all that. To be fair, Gourgeist has to watch out for the knockoff, but that's going to be the idea here. Confuse Ray or Toxic on the switch, Confuse Ray next turn, then Toxic on the predicted next switch. So I can try to get some Toxics off and Confuse Ray and all that. We have Poison Jab because I will be faster than Megalade and it will be a good way of knocking it out. I don't expect him to really stay in, but it'll also do pretty good damage to that Gourgeist. And then Drain Punch, just generally annoying, gets me life back. Should be pretty good. Hopefully this will work out. So now let's get into our offense. Our offensive Pokemon for this week. And that starts with our Scolipede. This Scolipede is running in Adamant Nature, 252 in attack, with 124 in speed. That is enough to outspeed Kieran Black, because he's not going to stay in on Mega Gardevoir. Let's be fair, he's not. But I got Protect just in case, because he's got a Mega, he can't run a Scarf on Mega Gardevoir. I can always Protect to get the speed boost if necessary. And then the rest is peppered in HP, Defense, and Special Defense, with the Life Orb here. So Megahorn, Earthquake, and Poison Jab is pretty good coverage for his entire team. Now a defensive Blastoise is not going to take a whole lot, and a defensive Mandibuzz also won't take a whole lot, and Mandibuzz can always roost on this thing. But otherwise, this coverage will take out a good part of the Hamden Hydreigons team. And if I can always, if I can force that Mandibuzz switch in and roost, then I can always use that as an opportunity for myself to switch out into a more offensive Pokemon. So I'm hoping that this Scolipede puts in the work, because it really is a very big offensive threat to my opponent's team here. So next up we have the fast and slow duo that I'm bringing here, an offensive duo here that I think is going to come in clutch this week. This is my offense for the week. So starts with the slow part, and that is Lumiere the Chandelier. We are running Infiltrator Weakness Policy with absolute minimum speed and a positive special attack in nature with max HP and max special attack to put in some work. Shadow Ball, Flamethrower, Energy Ball, and Trick Room. The idea here is to set up the Trick Room on an expected super effective hit. For example, a knockoff from Mandibuzz, a Shadow Ball from Raikou, maybe a Scald from a defensive Blastoise, Shadow Ball or something like that from Gourgeist, Shadow Ball from Meloetta, a Shadow Ball from Mega Gardevoir even, although I don't expect him to stay in on Mega Gardevoir. These are all things I could potentially set up on. Probably not a knockoff from Diggersby, that would be way too much. But these are all things I can set up on. And if I can get the Trick Room and the Weakness Policy to get off on the same attack, the same turn, then I will be pretty good to take down 2 or 3 Pokemon just right there. So that is going to be the idea. And then even if this goes down, I do have another Pokemon that can take advantage of the Trick Room. And that's actually going to be my fast Pokemon, which is next. And that is Balboa. Regirocky Balboa, heavyweight champion of the world right here. Also coming from the first time. We just acquired this from the Colorado Rapidash. And this right here will do a lot of work here. This is slow enough to take advantage of the Trick Room, but also fast enough to take advantage of the Rock Polish. And this thing's also running a Weakness Policy. So Rock Polish, Weakness Policy with Clear Body, I cannot be intimidated. And Stone Edge, Earthquake, and Ice Punch. That is enough coverage to take down everything except for a maximum defense Blastoise. But even then, once I set up the weakness policy, that will be 2-hit KO. So, if I set up that weakness policy on a Scald or something, which is a little dangerous because I'm, risking a burn, I can take out the Blastoise. So, that is the idea here. To try to take advantage of the Trick Room and the Rock Polish and break down the Hamden Hydreigons. And I hope that puts in the finest of work here. Theo here, what do you think? Do you think we're going to do it? I do. I hope that we pull out the win. But I've been Coach Esplancer. This is Assistant Coach Theo. He needs a diaper change. I can smell it right now. And we will see you this Sunday for the match where we hope to pull out a win.